All right, so today we're going to be talking about how do you actually improve at League of Legends. And not just improve at League of Legends, but anything you're trying to do in real life, right? How do we build these habits to make you a better player, right? So when people tell you, hey, look at the map more, you have a map awareness issue. It doesn't really, help people look at the map more. They just, tells them, hey, I need to look at the map more. They go into game, they still do the same things, and then nothing improved. So how do you actually formulate habits? So here's the kind of formula for making sure you're adding good habits into your games, right? Step one, what is the problem, right? Step two, we're going to look at what could I have done better, based on what we know what the problem is. And then step three, what is the trigger right before our mistake? Like, what do we do right before our mistake? Step four, take this habit that we came up with, what we would rather do instead, and stick it into whenever this trigger happens in game, right? So it sounds like a lot, but it's actually really easy. I'm gonna show you what I mean. We're gonna use this as an example, right? You can do this with any kind of perceived mistake you think you see in your replays. You just watch your death and you're like, okay, this happened. You're gonna come up with what's the problem? What should you do better? What's the trigger? Okay, what's the new habit? Okay, so this is how you will insert your habits in the game. And then when you see the trigger, then when the trigger happens in the game, you'll remember to do this habit, right? You will work on this over and over and over again until it becomes a permanent habit. And the goal is to make sure that your autopilot, quote unquote, becomes better, right? So let's watch this clip. For example, we saw the Jinx. We're like, okay, we can kill this guy. Still gonna run up. We're gonna kill this guy. There's a nice hook. Scrander is just playing with his food. Easy clap, and then nope. Okay, no, so far so good, right? No problems. So what's the problem here? Oh, we've got a lot of things going on, and oh, this is looking kind of dicey. Trying to kill the barrel, and 0% chance to win that. Right? What's the problem? Oh, what should I have done instead? So the problem is, let's say our perceived problem is we went for a man disadvantage play. Well, we would say it's not necessarily true. I think we can get out after killing Jinx, right? So what's the real problem here? Oh, maybe we didn't know what the idea is. We need to kill this Jinx, and we need to get out because we are man disadvantaged. We're so man disadvantaged that after we kill a dude, we need to leave, right? Even though we one-shot his ass, right? This is still 2v4, turned into a 2v3. 2v3 still losing, right? So maybe it's like, oh, we need to have a firm idea of what the plan is going into this. Okay, sure. I think that is reasonable. Make sure you have your plan when you're going into it and stick to it like glue, and don't turn around. Don't change it unless you see something crazy, right? So for example, like here, if our plan is, hey, we know that our Cho'Gath and our Vi are not coming, right? And our Kali's in base, Vi's not ulti. What is she supposed to do, right? We're going to kill this guy and we're going to run no matter what happens because it's 2v3 after we kill this guy, 2v4, maybe even 2v5 if Aurelia TPs, right? So hit and run, we're out. Would that have changed? If we did this, would we have been out? And the answer is yes. We could actually just leave. We're good to go. No problems. Maybe Blitz dies. That's okay, right? Yeah, totally fine, right? We just traded our support for the ADC, so that's really good. Now the next step is, you don't stop there. That's where most people stop. You see what the problem is? This is what I would have done differently, and they stop there. No. You need to keep going, all right? What's the trigger? We made a play. We made a decision. Right, that's the trigger. Is I wanted to kill Jinx. We made sure it was good. We can kill this guy, no problem. And then that's it. That's what the trigger is, right? The thing that happened right before you made this mistake, right? Or you could say it's Blitz got hooked and I tried to turn around, right? You can say that's the trigger too. Either one, whatever you think is probably the most relevant, I would say, is really good. For example, and then this is where you stick your habit in when you see this trigger, right? So I would say the one earlier is probably most beneficial for us when we make a decision based around what we're trying to do, based on our map information. We're gonna get the Jinx, we're gonna leave. Complete decision. We need to get out no matter what. A firm idea. All right, now you have your trigger. You know what you would rather have done instead, which is make sure that we would leave. And then now is the habit time. So this is every time this trigger happens, I will do this in your head or physically look at the map or whatever. So let's say every time we make a map-based decision, any kind of macro decision, any kind of we're looking to pick, we're going to stick with the plan, right? No matter what, and then you say, okay, we're going to pick the Jinx, we're going to leave no matter what. And that would have saved us, right? Or you could say in this, if the trigger is trying to help your teammate, you say, you could even say, look at your map and decide if you should help because it's 2v5, right? Or 2v4 or whatever, because you can't see anyone, right? You could do that too. Either one works. So for me, I would say every time we look at a decision, we're going to do it. We're going to see what happens afterwards. We need to leave and we're going to stick to it unless I see something 2v3 good. And that will be a foolproof. Make sure you don't do this, you know, whatever. don't stick around or anything, right? There's how do we 2v3 here? That's not 2v3 good. That's actually that's maybe 2v2 good, but definitely not 2v3 good, right? So then you do this habit every time this happens, all right? And now from now on, you know, go back. If we have this habit in place, we go back and we see, you know, how does it work? Oh, we see the scrying plant. We can kill the Jinx. We notice that our whole team can't show up, so we're gonna get her and we're gonna leave. Easy. And we're gonna have a firm idea of once we get this guy, we're gonna leave. When we get our flash, when we get the kill, whatever, we're gonna leave no matter what. And that'll be your how you improve. Every time you see this situation from now on, you would know you need to leave because you have man disadvantage. You see how that works, right? So every time you go into this, you're like, catch this guy, we gotta bounce. Catch this guy, we gotta bounce, right? Maybe even go mid. And in that sense, this mistake will never happen again. Or if you see this mistake again, you will already be working on this habit. And that's the ultimate goal, is to minimize repeated mistakes, right? It's okay to make this mistake. So now you learn, hey, man advantage is so good. Even though we one-shot this dude for, you know, ulti, we still need to bounce. You can kind of build up all these habits to help you in any situation. But the whole point is that you can't just stop at what the problem is, because that doesn't tell you anything. You need to figure out what your new habit is and stick it into the whatever trigger it is, right? And whatever, you know, make a decision, you'll get a CS, or your teammate needs help, right? Whatever this trigger is, you need to stick this habit in there, and in game you'll remember to this thing. All right, so I hope that you guys can go over your own mistakes and kind of do this step-by-step process to figure out what you need to do to get better at the game, right? And I promise you, if you can work on these ideas and implement these habits, you'll become a better player, right? So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and yeah, I hope this helps you. It helps give you guys direction when you are watching your own replays. So yeah, see you guys later. I also want to give a special shout out to Qwelz, Taidus, Kesak256, bluescreen, and neocoolstar. And thank you everyone else at Patreon. If you guys want to help support my videos, definitely check out my Patreon, or even if you have Amazon Prime, you can even use that to give me a free sub on Twitch. You know, hey, why are you laughing, Jay? Yeah, you can use that to give me a free sub on Twitch, twitch.tv. I stream over there. I think I can like put a link this way, this way, right? Yeah. Check me out if you want to watch some live gameplay. Other than that, hit me up on Discord if you have any questions. I will see you guys next time.